how to start a mailing list. It is really important to have your own newsletter as well as your website. I think those are the two key things that you really need to own yourself to be able to grow your brand and your empire as a blogger, as a content creator, as an influencer, or even if you're a small business owner, as an entrepreneur. My name is Paola Mendez, and I am the founder of the Blogger Union. For those of you who are not familiar with the Blogger Union, we are a network of blogger communities dedicated to growing our members' brands and incomes through meetups and workshops just like this one. And my personal blog is Coral Gables Love, in case you'd like to go check that out. So let's get started. First thing that we should do is go to the resource page that I created for us. It has resources and some links for us to follow. So I'm going to share this link in the chat, and if you could all let me know in the chat when you guys get there so that we can get started. And the link is thebloggerunion.com/newsletter. So we're all here at thebloggerunion.com/newsletter in case you just arrived. And I'm going to be showing you how to use the email marketing service called Flowdesk. Now, why do I recommend this service? Because the pricing is incredible for the amount of features that they offer. I used to use MailChimp, but the problem with MailChimp is that as soon as you outgrow their free service, it starts to get really expensive. So as you can see here, this is their pricing plan. So as soon as you hit 2,500 contacts, it starts to get to $50 a month. And if you keep growing your account, it just gets like astronomical. And I think the Flowdesk is a much more affordable service, and has incredible features. It's a new service, so let's get started. I'll show you all the features as we go. And what's great is that you can set up an account completely for free, try it for 30 days. You don't have to enter a credit card or anything, so that you can see if you like it. And at the end of the 30 days, if you do, then you can just sign up for their service. So if you scroll down and click here to start a Flowdesk account. So what's great is that if you do use my link, you're gonna get 50% off Flowdesk for the rest of your life. So, and what's great about Flowdesk is that you can have as many email subscribers as you want. You can send as many emails as you want every month, and the price is going to be the same. So normally it's $38, but if you sign up with this link, it's going to be $19 a month, no matter if you have 2,000 subscribers or if you have 100,000 subscribers. So I think this is an incredible deal, and that's why it's the one that I'm suggesting here today. So yeah, so go ahead and create your account, and I'm going to create my account here. I create the email, and okay, so the email that you want to use to create this account, make sure it's the email that you want to send your emails to your subscribers from. So I wouldn't start this account with a Gmail account if that's not the account you're going to be sending your emails from. So for example, my blog is coralgableslocal.com. So I'm using the email info@coralgableslocal.com because that's the email I'm going to be using to send the newsletters. Okay, so we create account. Okay, and so we're gonna get an email with information from Flowdesk so that we can prove that we have access to that email. So I'm gonna stop sharing my screen. And if you guys can tell me that you have received your email, I already received mine, and that you have verified the account. So the email subject that you're looking for says, verify your email to get started with Flowdesk. and it has a link, and all you have to do is click on that link. Let's sign in with that email and password that we just entered. So I already have Flowdesk set up for all of my services. So we sign in. Okay, perfect. So the other thing that I love about Flowdesk is that it has a ton of templates, and something as who is new with having a newsletter is that sometimes you're intimidated and you don't know what to write in your welcome email to your newsletter, for example, or what to write when you're delivering an offer when someone signs up to get your freebie. And Flowdesk makes it super easy, and all of their templates are absolutely gorgeous. So, okay. Here we are, we have logged in to Flowdesk. So the first, they have a little tutorial that runs you through what everything is. We're gonna click on the link at the top that says Flowdesk. And then we're gonna click at the little top icon on the right-hand side, and we're gonna start setting up our account. So we're gonna click on the little icon at the top right, and we're gonna click on account. So under account details, as you can see, the email that we signed up for is the email we're sending emails from. We want to say, put our full name. Now, if this is your, so for example, my blog is Coral Gables Love. So here I put Coral Gables Love, not my personal name, but if my blog were Paola Mendez, then I would put Paola Mendez there. Here, I pick a time zone, Eastern time, and that's it. What I also like about Flowdesk is that it usually, all the changes that you're doing, it saves as you go. Okay, so that's it. All you have to do is put your name and your time zone so that they know when to send your emails. Okay. Next, we're gonna go to email setup, to and from details. So from name, we're gonna put Coral Gables Love again. And it's already verified. So as soon as you click away from that field, it already saved it. So that's it. It has an option where you can add one more email. So maybe if you have your blog, and you have a shop with your blog, and you want to send emails from shop@coralgableslove.com, and you want to send emails from info@coralgableslove.com, then you can set up the second email here if you want. And the maximum you can set up is 2. So that's good. Domain setup is if you have your own domain. Okay, so domain setup is if you own a domain. So you can authenticate your domain. This is a little bit of an advanced option. So if you have a free blog host, then don't worry about this. But if you actually own your domain and you have a hosting provider like SiteGround or HostGator or something like that, then you can authenticate it. I'm going to show you. It's a little complicated. If you feel like this is overwhelming, then don't worry about it. You don't have to do it, authenticate the domain. But if you do have it, that option, then that's cool. So I always teach all of my students to use HostGator as their hosting provider. So all you have to do is go to hostgator.com and go to customer login. And Venetia does has HostGator. Okay, perfect. Then you can follow along. And then you go to customer portal login. And now here, the tricky part is remembering all your login information. So I'm hoping this is my password. Yay, it was the right one. Okay, so once you guys are logged into your cPanel, you are going to go to your dashboard, you're going to click Launch cPanel, which is this orange button. Okay, so you go to this orange button. Okay, so in Flowdesk, you click to authenticate this domain, and you click Let's Get Started. You have to find that DNS tool that we already found on HostGator. And we have to create these 3 records. So it sounds a little intimidated. Don't worry, just do what I'm doing and you'll be fine. So let's see. We're going back here to HostGator. In HostGator, you click on domains. And we're going to click on Simple Zone Editor. Okay, so now here, we're going to add the 3 different records that Flowdesk wants us to add. So what you have to do is you have to copy each line are the 2 values you have to enter into HostGator, and you have to do it 3 times. So I already did the first one, so I'm going to do the second one. So I'm going to copy this CNAME here, copy, and I'm going to go to HostGator, and I'm pasting it right there under name. And then I go back to Flowdesk, and I select the second value here, and I click copy, and then I go back to HostGator and I paste it, and I click add CNAME record. And so I go back to Flowdesk, and I get this 3rd row now. I pick that, I click here at the top, I paste it, and then I click the value, I copy it, and I go to CNAME, and I make sure, and I click add CNAME record. So I click that, and it added the 3 records. So down there, you'll see it added all 3. And when you're adding it, make sure you do it under the CNAME record down here, not in the A record, or it's going to give you an error. So this is extra credit. You guys don't have to do this. It seems a little complicated. It's not that bad. So yeah, if you authenticate your domain, your emails are going to have a better chance of making it through all the spam filters. So so if you do this step, it'll, it's just extra brownie points. All right. So once you copy all 3, you click finish, and they have to verify that you did that. And then once they verify, that gets approved, and then you're done with that. Okay, anyway, moving on. So you can skip domain setup if you want, but if you want to do it, it's that way. And then you click on brand preferences, and here is where you can make it look like your blog when you're sending your newsletter. So here you can upload your logo, and you just click there and find your logo in your computer. And this is my logo, and my company name is Coral Gables Love, and my website is https coralgablesLove.com. Okay. Oh, I'm doing Coral Gables Local right now. Okay, coralgableslocal.com. Okay, and this, you put your address. So for mailing lists, it's the law. You have to put your address. So if you don't want to put your home address, you can get a P.O. box, or if you can get a co-working space and put their address there. So you fill out your information. Okay. And then here, you can pick what social media channels you have. And you just click on the ones that you want to add. So I think you have to put the whole link, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see. Yeah, it must be a URL. So facebook.com/CoralGablesLove. And then if you have Twitter, you can do that too. Twitter.com/CoralGablesLove. And I have Instagram. Okay. And then here, what is really cool about Flowdesk is that you can connect to your Instagram and it'll actually add your latest photos of your Instagram feed to your newsletter if you want. So you can just connect by logging into your Instagram account in your browser, on your web browser, and then just authorizing Flowdesk. So now they're connected to the South Florida bloggers. That's cool. And then here, if you have brand specific colors, brand color guidelines, then you can add them here. So you can add the hex values for all of your colors here, and then they'll show up in when you're creating a newsletter, so that you can use those colors and stay within your branding guidelines. And then once you move to the paid plan, you can take off the little disclaimer that says that you're using Flowdesk. And then here you can, they have a thank you page already, and you can view it. It's pretty basic and it works, but if you don't like what it looks like, then you can click customize and then you can edit it. So for example, here, I think my logo is a little too tiny in the thank you page. So all I have to do is click on the logo and drag this slider and it makes it bigger. And I think that's a pretty good size. So, I'm gonna leave it at this size. Let me see if I can't see properly here. Okay. So that looks good. And then we click finish. Okay, so we made our thank you page and we set our brand preferences. Now it also has integration. So if you have a Shopify store, you can connect it to your Shopify store. And that's pretty much it. So we have set up our Flowdesk account. So we're gonna go back to the main Flowdesk. What I love about Flowdesk is really their email templates. But I think before we can create an email template, we have to have at least one subscriber, if I'm not mistaken. So we're gonna go to audience and we're gonna click on subscribers. So to find audience, it's on that top menu and then click on subscribers. So if you want to add yourself as a test email, if you don't have any subscribers, you can do that if this is the first time you've had a mailing list. But if you already have a mailing list, for example, if you were already using MailChimp or Constant Contact or OmniSend or whatever thing that you, or maybe you were just collecting emails, you have like you went to you had like a bake sale and you asked people for their emails. So this is how you're gonna add that list of emails to your Flowdesk. So you're gonna click on this button up here that says add new. And if you click individual, you can just enter the information one by one. But if you have a list, that gets a little tedious. So you want to upload a CSV file, which is a comma separated values. It's pretty much just an Excel file. So you can just drag the CSV file onto here and it's going to grab the information and you have to tell it what column to use for each field in your Excel file, right? So here, it's going to be first name is this field and last name is this field. And those are the three fields that Flowdesk has by default: first name, last name, and email. But the more information we have from our subscribers, the more we can write specific content for our subscribers. So, and we can segment our subscribers. So you want to create as many fields as information you have from each of your subscribers. So for example, in this file, I have the city that my subscribers are in and the state that they're in. So to create that field in Flowdesk, all you have to do is type in here, city, and click create city, and it creates it for you. It's super easy. You just see how complicated it is in MailChimp. You have to go to settings and merge, and it's a pain in the butt. Okay, and then so now we want to create a state. So we type state and we create state, and that's it. We click continue. And here it tells you what segment do you want to add to. Now, segments are the most important thing about having a newsletter, because you don't want to send in the same newsletter to all of your subscribers, because sometimes you're going to be sending information that really isn't relevant to some of your subscribers. So what do I mean? Okay, for example, the Blogger Union. We have chapters, and we have live events in different cities across the US. Now, if we were to send all of the events to everyone, some people would be like, I'm gonna unsubscribe because I don't live in any of those cities. So we would, instead of sending, whenever we are having an event in New York City, to all of our members, we only choose the members who live in the New York City area and surrounding area, and tell them, hey, this event is going to be happening near you. Do you want to go? Now, on the other hand, if we're having a webinar where anybody can attend, it doesn't matter where you are, then we can send it to all of our subscribers. But if so, you have to try to figure out what are the different scenarios that make your subscribers unique, and you want to start separating them into those segments. Other segments that are very useful is, are they a customer? Have they bought from you? Did you meet them at an event? Do they go to your events? So stuff like that are your segments. Or maybe they're just the pillars of the stuff that you write about in your blog. So maybe they're interested in, you write about lifestyle, and that includes travel, beauty, and fashion. So maybe you want to add the segments. Maybe there's people who are only interested in your fashion content or in your travel content. So that's what segments are for. So this one, I'm going to say is customers. For our example, you just have to type and click it, and it creates the segment. It's super easy. And then you click continue and finish. And Flowdesk just takes a little bit of a second to add your subscribers. And they send an email whenever you do it through the CSV. So it takes a second for your subscriber to show up. Okay, and then here, now we're gonna go, and let's say we know all the different segments that we have. So we're gonna go back to audience and click on segments. So whenever you upload a bunch of subscribers, it automatically creates a segment with those subscribers for you. So you can go in there and figure out if you want to add more segments and stuff like that. So here is where you would go, and if you already know that you're going to have people who only care about your travel content, then you're going to create all the segments here. So you want to create a travel segment, you want to create a fashion segment, maybe you want to create one that is about events. And here's where you create all your segments. So the beauty of it is that you can add one subscriber to as many segments as you want. And when you send an email, if you pick several segments, it's only going to send it to them once. So you don't have to worry about, oh, I put them in Miami and Coral Gables and Florida, and now they're going to get 3 emails. No, Flow segment is really smart. It'll only send it to them once. Okay, awesome. So that's how that works. Our subscriber has showed up on our audience here. So let me show you how you would add them to more segments if you have to. And I keep going on about segments because segments really are the most important part about your newsletter. You want to make sure you email people as specifically as you can. And as we get into more advanced email marketing, we get into funnels, and to be able to get people from one point of their journey to wherever you want to take them, whether it's buying a cookbook or buying a course or buying your services of styling recommendations and stuff like that, you're going to want to be able to put them in the right segment so that you know when they're ready to go through the sequence that will end in them purchasing a product from you or your services. So, okay, this is our one subscriber and it has a bunch of information about them. So once you start sending emails, you can go to any one subscriber and it's going to tell you how many times they opened an email, clicked on it, and stuff like that. So here, if you want to add them to more segments, you click here on Add Segments. And you can add them to any of the segments that you created in the previous window that I was showing you. So I want to add this subscriber to events, and I also want to add them to fashion. So I click save. Now, if we go back to our segments, you're going to see events has 1 and fashion has 1 because we added that subscriber to those segments. Travel, we don't have anyone in travel yet, and that's okay. So these segments that are automatically created by Flowdesk, you can delete them if you want, and it's not going to delete the subscribers that are in the segment. It'll just get rid of the segment. The subscribers will still exist in your list. If they aren't anywhere else, they'll always will live in all subscribers. So to delete a segment, you go to you hover on it and you go to the 3 dots at the top and you click delete. And here's where it's telling you the subscribers are still gonna exist. And you're like, that's wonderful, thank you. I think I have a question. Joe is asking, does Flowdesk allow us to have auto responses for funnels? Yes. Yes, they do. And this is what's so incredible about Flowdesk is that this feature usually gets a lot of people charge extra for that feature about sending automated emails, and it comes automatically with that $19 a month. It's just like incredible pricing. Okay, so let's set up our first email. So let's just pretend we're gonna send a regular old email to our massive list of 1. So you're gonna go to emails and we're going to click create new email. So these are the beautiful templates I was telling you guys about. Look at how pretty they are. And they have, not only are they templates that can help you fill, but they already have specific things that you need to do. So like, for example, you know, what they call a freebie or an offer when people have like a PDF document that you have to fill out your name and your email and then you receive that document. That's what this email template is for example. Here they have welcome your new subscribers, share news, share an offer, content creator rescheduling, you having a sale, influencers welcome, core sale announcement. So I love all of these and they have beautiful copy already. You just have to tweak it to make it work for you. So let's say, let's see, which one do we want to start with? Well, let's click on welcome. Let's start with our welcome email and all of the welcome options. All right, let's just try this one. Welcome with gratitude. So all you have to do is click customize to make it your own. So again, if your logo is too small, all you have to do is click on your logo and then here you drag the little slider until it's the size you want it to be. There we go. That's nice. Okay. So then here you click on the next option here and it says words cannot express how grateful I am to have you on my list. A welcome friend. That sounds great to me. I'm not going to change it. Someone has a question. Tamika is asking, Will there be a replay on the YouTube channel? Yes, I will be sharing this on the Blogger Union YouTube channel. If you guys want to subscribe to the YouTube channel so that you get notifications for any webinar replays, that's the link. Okay. So we're editing this thing, and here, when you click on it, it works just like MailChimp or any other email editor. When you click here, you have all the options here on how to, change the font and the alignment and all that stuff here. So you can change the text, and you can change how it's styled there. You're now in the know, and now here, it's just so easy to create a beautiful newsletter. It's incredible. Here, you just upload an image. You can just pick whatever image you want, and you pick another one. Okay. And now here is some copy. You can, just change it a little bit so it sounds more like you. And here, it's really cool. I really love this feature where you can sign with like a handwritten font. So you can do that. Now, also, remember, if you don't like these pictures, for example, here, you can click on this section and you can delete it, and you can get rid of those pictures. Or if you feel like I want to add a picture right here, right? You can just click on those little plus buttons, and you can add an image or your Instagram account or a bunch of other stuff here. So you have all of these options. And this layouts thing is really cool because it has like all of these really beautiful options here that you can pick, that you can add to your newsletter. So you can add any of these options to your newsletter that are part of other templates, but you can put them in any newsletter. So you just have to click there, and you can edit it and make it your own. So let's say, no, we don't want this that we just added there. We just click delete, and bam, it's gone. Okay, so let's say that our email is looking pretty good. Before you send the newsletter, every single time, make sure you test the newsletter. Don't just send a newsletter without testing it. For sure, there's gonna be a typo. For sure, you're gonna forget a link, or you put the wrong link in the wrong button. So the web developer in me is always test, test, test. And even then, you still might send a mistake. It's okay. So, but make sure you at least tested it. So here, you click on that little paper airplane, and you put where you're gonna send the test email, and you click add recipient, and then you say send test now, and you're gonna get the newsletter to your inbox, where you, as a rule, make sure you click on every single link that you put in that newsletter to make sure it's going to the right place. Because people, when you open an email and you click somewhere where it's supposed to take you to buy something or more information, and it takes you to a garbage place, those are reasons that people unsubscribe. So make sure that you test your newsletter and that everything is looking good before you send it. Okay, so once you tested it, then you're gonna click here, next. And then here, you're gonna confirm the from name. And you're like, yeah, Coral Gables Love, cool. And you're going to write your subject line. Now, email marketing is super important because you get a direct line to your email subscribers, which is something that social media doesn't give you, right? You post it on your social media account and you might have 20,000 followers, but if 200 of them see it, you're lucky, right? With email, every single one of them is going to get your email, but it depends on your headline, whether they're gonna open it or not. So you have to write a really good headline. And something that I learned when writing emails and blog posts is that to get good at it, you have to practice. So a good rule of thumb is when you're writing emails, write 15 different headlines. And I know it sounds silly. Why would I write 15 headlines? Because by the time you get to the 15th, you're gonna notice how much better your email subject line got. I do also with blog post headlines. Also, you can do that too. Also, that it's now that you're into email marketing, it's a good idea to keep an eye out in your own inbox and see what emails really caught your attention and that you really went to click right away, so that you can start getting an idea of what emails make you want to open them, and you can start using those types of headlines in your emails. Okay, so you change your subject line to make it be whatever you need it to be, and then the preview text is the little bit of preview that you get next to the subject in your email. So you fill that out. And you click continue. And then here is where you're going to add your segments, which is that really important part we were talking about in the past. The good thing about Flowdesk is that it also gives you other options. If you're going to send an email and you only want to send it to a very specific list that doesn't match any of your email segments, then you can just import your Excel file with the emails and it'll send it to those specific people, and you use this option down here. But we're going to do it to a segment of ours, and we're going to send it to all of our people who are in events. Now, as you can see here, it gives you the option to exclude. So you could, if you wanted to send it to only the people who are interested in your events that didn't like fashion, then you could click include events and exclude fashion. But since we only have one subscriber, it doesn't work, because we're just going to include events. And we're going to click add segments. Okay, so we have one person we're going to send this amazing welcome email to. We're going to click continue. And now here it tells you, when do you want to send it? Do you want to send it now? You can pick a different time or date, whatever. And that is how you send a regular old email through Flowdesk. The other part of sending emails is that it is a super simple interface, right? It's super user-friendly, and that's what I like about it. All the other ones make you jump through hoops to try to figure out what you're doing. This is super user-friendly and beautiful. So this is why I moved all of my my accounts to Flowdesk, because, and the price, you just cannot beat this price. Okay, so I'm going to show you a little bit something that is more advanced, and it's the workflows, which is what Joe was asking about, sending automated email sequences. Now, I'm just going to mention this. We're not going to get into the nitty gritty, but just I'm going to show you what it has so that you can try it out on your own. And stay tuned, because I'm going to be creating some challenges so that we can all work together through creating our first offer, because sometimes it's a little bit intimidating about, and offers are a great way to grow your mailing list. But okay, we'll talk about that in a second. So here are workflows. So workflows are things that you can create through Flowdesk so that people get emails automatically, which is amazing. So here, to do that, you've got to go to workflows and click create a workflow. And here are the different sequences that they already have here that you can start off with, or you can create a sequence from scratch. But let's start with templates, because they're good templates. So something that I definitely recommend you set up once you are finished watching this webinar and get a chance to set up your Flowdesk properly, is to set up your welcome sequence, because a lot of us have mailing lists, and then people sign up to the mailing list, and then you forget to welcome them and tell them what they're expecting from joining this mailing list. So a welcome sequence is definitely recommended. These freebies are the delivering of offers that I was talking about. They're called also lead magnets, and they also have a sales sequence. So we are going to go with a welcome sequence and click view details. Click customize. Okay, so the trigger is, when does Flowdesk know when to send this, start this sequence of emails? And this sequence can just be the one welcome email, or as you can see, this sequence actually is more than just a welcome email. It's when the trigger here, you have to pick when a subscriber is added to a segment. So, you know, when we're gonna pick events, for example. So when I add someone to events, Flowdesk is automatically going to send them this welcome email. And you can edit that email, you know, you can click here and edit that email, and we'll click on that in a second. But what's cool is that what Flowdesk is doing here for you is it's waiting a month. And then after the month, it's sending another email, which is telling them a little bit more about you. And then it's waiting another month, and then it's telling them a little bit more about what to expect to your mailing list. And it has all of these automated sequences. So if, for example, you don't have time to write an email every week or once a month, then you can just automate this, and it automatically will send, as new subscribers keep joining your mailing list, it'll go through the sequence so that you can just keep adding a new email at the end of the 30 days. And then people will be in the different stages of your sequence, and you don't have to worry about sending all of your newsletter emails once a month. You're already there. So super great tool. So that's how that works. And then you can keep adding stuff here, and it has different conditions that you can pick from. Because right now it's just using time delay, but you can use different conditions. So this is more of an advanced tool, and I definitely recommend that you try just setting up the welcome sequence. And if you're overwhelmed about writing all of the emails that come after the welcome letter, you can delete all of those so that you're not freaked out. And then you at least have, if someone joins your newsletter, they're going to get a welcome email from you. And that's incredible. Okay, so that is how workflows work. And then pretty much, you want to save your workflow. And then when you go to workflows, you click here, and you can rename your workflow, you can duplicate it, you can change it, whatever you want. So you'll find all of the workflows that you're working on or that are active in your under workflows here. So something also that is important for growing your mailing list is having forms. So where people can add their name and their email so that they can automatically add themselves to your mailing list. So Flowdesk has what is called forms for that. So if you go to forms, you can create a form. So what I'm doing right now is showing you all of the features that Flowdesk has, but I'm going to be in the next couple of weeks starting a challenge so that we can, you know, in a week, we can go through all of these steps together and you know, finish setting up our Flowdesk together. I don't know. Let me know if you guys would be interested in a challenge like that in the chat, and I can get it started. I think we have a question. Let me see. Stephanie, is there a minimum or maximum amount of times you send an email to your audience? Okay, so that's a great question. So you can send an email to your audience every single day if you are delivering value. And if you've been joining the webinars, you've been hearing me talk about delivering value left and right, because that is the key to growing whatever it is you're doing, whether it's your blog or your newsletter. You have to deliver value. So what do I mean by deliver value? if you're not completely 100% sure how you're delivering value to your audience, you definitely want to go back to the drawing board and figure that out, because that's what's going to help you navigate your blogging journey and make decisions like, should I send this email? Because does this email have value for my subscribers? And if you're not sure, you can ask yourself, am I solving a problem? Am I being helpful for my subscribers by sending this email? And if you're not 100%, if the answer is not 100% yes, I am helping my subscribers, then do not send that email, because our inboxes are already overwhelmed. We have too many emails coming in. So if you just give them one email that is not helpful at all, it's not information they needed at all, they're probably going to unsubscribe. And then when you have something that is important to them, they're no longer on the list, so you can't reach them anymore. So that minimum and maximum amount of times to send an email depends on that. That is the key. But as a rule, sending an email about once every 2 weeks is about a good frequency of sending emails if, again, you're delivering very good value. People hearing from you about once a month is also pretty good. So anywhere, you don't want to wait like every 6 months to send an email, because if you wait too long, people forgot that they unsubscribed and that they've subscribed to you, and they think that you're spam. And so they label you as spam, and that hurts how many of your emails are getting to people's inboxes versus their spam. So did that help answer your question, Steph? Okay, perfect. So, okay, so we want to set up these, you're welcome, Steph. Okay, so we want to set up these forms so that we can collect people's emails, and they can join our newsletter automatically. We don't have to add them. So they have a pop-up that goes in your website and asks them to join your mailing list. And they have a ribbon banner. So this banner, for example, if you go to coralgableslove.com, I have that one, and that is connected to Flowdesk. It's this banner right here. And then these are more options. But what I recommend you get started with is your full page with image, which is also what people call a landing page. So with the landing page, you want to pique their interest enough for them to give your email, so that they'll give their email to you, and you in return will give them something back, which is what's called a freebie, an offer, and stuff like that. So I recommend you do that once you create your account with Flowdesk. Just create one. I'm going to show you how to do it right now. So we're going to say that this landing page is for people who are interested about events. So here, it is so easy. All you have to do is click here, change the image, and I'll show you an example of what I did this for. I created a book club, a social justice book club, and this is how people subscribe to being part of the book club. But here, all you have to do is pick an image. Bam, that's the image. And here, it depends on what your blog is about, right? What are you trying to tempt them with so that they will give you their email? So do you have the secrets to social media? Do you have the secrets for the perfect cookie recipe? Do you have the secrets for how to have the perfect complexion, how to get the perfect makeup for your wedding, whatever it is, the secret that you have, you're going to put it here. And they are going to give you their name and email so that they can get that secret from you, right? So so make sure, this is going to be part of the challenge, but your secret does not have to be this earth-shattering secret. All you have to do, type something up on Word, save it as a PDF, and save it in a Dropbox or something somewhere, and have a link to it. That's all you need to be able to deliver this secret to somebody and exchange for them to joining your mailing list. So you fill this out, you click next, and then for this one, I wouldn't recommend confirmation, so I'm going to just click continue. If you want to get an email each time someone subscribes, you can say yes at the beginning when you don't get too many subscribers. That's amazing. But once you start getting a lot of subscribers, you probably don't want to get notified for each one. And what happens after this form is submitted, you can send them to a specific another web page on your website, or you can just tell them, yay, congratulations, you're in. And here, Flowdesk builds that page and gives you a link to it. So if we this is the link that you share when you're telling people to sign up to your secret, right? And then when people fill this, they automatically get joined to your newsletter. So here, let's test it. Let's call me Paula too, so we can recognize it. And we're gonna, I don't know if I already put Coral Gables Love. Let's see. Okay. And it says, thank you for subscribing. Okay. So right now, you wouldn't want to publish it because you need to create the workflow that delivers the freebie, right? But this is how you create what is called a landing page, which other companies charge you an arm and a leg for you to have a landing page. And this is the way it looks like. If you want to see a live landing page of mine, how it looks, if you go to coralgableslove.com/book-club, I'm going to put it in the chat. You're going to see I'm using Flowdesk, and I'm using this exact same thing to get people to join my social justice book club, which we're going to have our first meeting next week. So if you want to join and make a difference in the world, feel free to join my book club. But as you can see, I changed the image. I told them what it is that they're getting out of giving me their email. And when people fill this out, they join my book club. And I didn't expect to have a book club. We have almost 40 members right now. And so it kind of grows organically. So, and it makes it easier to promote people to join your newsletter, because you're not telling them just generically, hey, join my newsletter. People do not join your newsletter if you just tell them, hey, join my newsletter. You have to give them a specific reason to join your newsletter. So that's what these little landing pages are for, to give them a specific reason to join. And not only that, but then it helps you know, I run Coral Gables Love. The people from Social Justice Book Club is an online book club, so they might not be local to Coral Gables. So when I email all of my people from Coral Gables Love for local stuff, I usually exclude the Social Justice Book Club, because they are most likely not going to be interested. Unless it's something about elections or something like that, then I send it to them as well. So that's pretty much how Flowdesk works. You do need some time on, to set it up properly on your own, because you have to create your freebie and you have to set up some stuff. So what I would like to do that is for us to be able to do it as a challenge together, because it's not something that you can accomplish in me just following me along for an hour like all of our usual webinars. But once you do have your newsletter and you're asking people to join your newsletter, then it's super important that you promote that you have your newsletter. So you've already built an audience in your social media, so you want to promote people, try to get them to join your newsletter. So you want to start promoting it on all your social media channels. And again, remember, don't just tell them, oh, I started a newsletter. join my newsletter, but have a good reason for them to join your newsletter. Maybe in your social media, you're gonna share recipes, but there's this very popular recipe that people like, and you're only gonna have it for people who join your newsletter, stuff like that. Any questions? And the other thing is that email form that I put on Coral Gables Love, it looks really pretty, but it's the form that gets the least amount of subscribers because it's pretty generic. Even though I tell them they're gonna get discounts and stuff like that, people very rarely sign up to a newsletter unless they have a direct gift or they received immediate value from joining your newsletter. If you have a store, a great way to get email subscribers is to offer them a discount for your shop by joining your newsletter that they can use right away in their current shopping cart. All right, guys. Well, that is how you set up your newsletter with Flowdesk. And what I love about Flowdesk is that you just have to tweak the templates and you already have a ton of emails that you don't have to write from scratch. You can welcome people to your newsletter. You can deliver your freebies and your offers and your secrets and all that good stuff. So if you guys want to let me know in the chat if you're interested in that challenge, because if I have enough people who want to participate, I'll start that up. Great, thanks so much for joining us. We do have some workshops in the works. We're going to continue our series of using our influence for social justice. We're going to be talking about elections coming up on July 9th, I believe, and we'll be announcing that soon. We're going to talk about media management in July as well. You know, we're starting to take so many pictures and so many videos that it starts to get unwieldy, and so we're going to have a professional videographer tell us what is the right way to manage all of our photos and videos so that we know how to store them properly and find what it is that we need to find when we're looking for it. So Joe says, did you generate a landing page for joining did you copy and paste the code to add to your website? So I can show that in the challenge. But yes, there's a way. You can use the HTML code of an iframe to put that landing page that Flowdesk is creating inside your actual website, which is what I did with that book club landing page. But then if you just add that, it's going to have all of your navigation and all that stuff. And the trick of why landing pages work, if you notice, there's nothing. The only thing that's on that page is the sign up to my newsletter. That's it. So you do need to know a little bit of HTML, a little bit of coding to be able to hide all of the other distractions when you do that in your website. But I can show you guys how to do that in the challenge as well. So Patty said, you're interested to get to work everything together. All right, Patty, we'll do that challenge. I'll make sure to send you an email about that. Lisanne is asking, do you know if Flowdesk allows you to email schools? MailChimp denies my students that have a school email. You know what? I am not sure about that, but that's a great question, Lisanne. I would recommend emailing support@flowdesk.com. They're really good. They respond within 1 day regarding questions about what features they offer and what do they allow and don't allow. So I would recommend asking that. And that's it. Thanks so much for joining us. Thank you, Esperanza. And yeah, I don't know. Yes, I will send an email to everyone who participated in starting a mailing list on starting the challenge. See if you guys want to join and we can do it together. So we can do it 1 day at a time. And by the end of the week, hopefully you guys have your first offer ready to go. So you can start promoting it to all of your followers on social media. All right, guys. Well, have a wonderful weekend. Please continue to stay safe and we'll see you next week. Bye, everyone.